Before I begin, as this is my first speech in this chamber, I would like to thank the people of Longford and Westmeath for putting their faith in me to represent them in this chamber. It really is a great privilege. Never, when I walked through the doors over there for the first time, did I imagine my maiden speech would be in the middle of a pandemic. Yet here we are. Minister, we are all aware we're now living in very uncertain and worrying times. Judging by the Stability Impact Report that you delivered last week, none know more so than our small businesses who are now faced with a future that is very bleak indeed. With gross domestic product set to fall by 10.5%, modified domestic demand by 15% and an unemployment rate of 22%, your document states that a difficult journey ahead, but Ireland faces it from a position of strength. Minister, your statement of a position of strength is not one that's shared or agreed with by many small businesses in my constituency. In fact, it's vastly at odds with their position. Thousands of families are now out of work, and granted, most of those families have availed of the relevant supports that have been put in place. But those who run a small business employing up to 10 people are extremely anxious at the fact that the lack of supports for them will force them to keep their doors closed when the economy starts moving again. Business owners across Longford and Westmeath have contacted me stating that they ran out of personal savings and disposable cash to cover rent, rates, insurance and other fixed overheads, including a loss of stock that would make it viable for them to reopen whenever that may be. These small and medium businesses have always been the backbone of towns and villages, local communities, the length and breadth of my constituency, and they're a vital part to the fabric of everyday life. The impact of COVID-19 on the SMEs for the coming months and years is, in all honesty, yet known, but we have an opportunity to face it from a position that supports smaller businesses who have proved themselves in the past and put their shoulder to the wheel. They are willing and able to do it again, but that will be very much dependent on a comprehensive government response that includes viable and sustainable supports that are sufficient in scale and easy to access to assist them to recommence trading. These issues are particularly prevalent within the retail, hospitality, salons, childcare, tourism and manufacturing sectors. These businesses cannot be chastised by banks that we own, banks that we bailed out in the past, with unfeasible interest rates that makes it impossible for them to gain access to working capital when needed. And make no mistake, it's needed now more than ever. As my colleague Deputy Doherty outlined to you last week, Minister, far more payments are made through the pandemic unemployment payment than through the temporary wage subsidy scheme. And I want to reiterate the point that this needs to be addressed to prevent the relationship between employer and employee being permanently severed. Businesses in my constituency have made it very clear to me, Minister, that the Small and Medium Enterprise Credit Guarantee Scheme and the COVID-19 Working Capital Scheme need to be immediately reformed in a manner that will allow them to reopen their doors, continue to provide employment and provide services into the communities where they are ingrained. As AIB held their AGM yesterday, Minister, I must ask, what issues did you raise? And did any of the issues you raised concern access and liquidity credit for small business owners who are not in a position to take on additional debt and feed into a banking system that seeks to profiteer from a time of crisis? Minister, this government has been big on announcements but short on delivery. What has been announced is not matching what is being delivered on the ground. Mistakes are being made and they must be rectified. Many business owners have put their life and soul into creating and maintaining employment through the last economic crash, and if they close, it will sound the death knell on many already vulnerable towns and villages as people are forced to seek employment elsewhere. This crisis is an unprecedented event. We've never faced anything like it before, nor have we recovered from anything like it before. But one thing is certain, without supports that are sufficient, easy to access, this pause in trading will become a loss of business and permanent job losses. We must support our SME sectors as much as we can, with zero interest applied loans and, where necessary, 100% state guarantees.
Thanks, Deputy. Congratulations on your